Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.GG Invite Highlander Week 2 match coming down on Koth Ashville between last week's victors Amicitia Nova and squirtyay, a new challenger in the Invite scene. I'm Alto, joined by Zag to my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. We're on Ashville today. It's a bit more of a fast-paced map compared to last week where we had, it ended with a 16-minute Swiftwater half. So either way, should be a lot more fun, fast-paced of a match.
Yeah, saw a couple of long halves on that Swiftwater match last week where Amicitia Nova did take a close 2-1 victory against B&H. However, they will be coming now against squirtyay, another one of those invite move-up teams, who I think most notably, other than the return of Yip Yapper, going as Aaron in this match on Engineer, back to his home class, is Watterson returning to Highlander after a few seasons out, where at one point he was probably one of the better snipers in this game. And I think one of the major things we'll be looking at in this match is whether or not he's kind of shaken all that rust off, or if he's still going to be coming in a little bit slow on the uptake.
Yeah, the sniper v sniper matchup of Watterson versus Say should be really interesting. Because Say did really well last week. He's kind of an up and comer, and if he can hold his own against Watterson, then we might have another top tier sniper coming into the game soon. With that though, we almost have 18 to service. So we can run down the rosters real quick. On Amicitia Nova for Scout, we have Poseidon. On Soldier, Catalyst. On Pyro, Darkly. On Demoman, Dog. On Heavy, Raymond 5000. On Engineer, Peren. On Medic, DZ Creeper. On Sniper, we have Say. And on Spy, Michaelele.
All right, and then on squirtyay, we will have Use on Scout, Voosh on Soldier, Figsy on Pyro, going off of a Medic, which many of the older viewers may know her from. Fig on Demo, Octa on Heavy, Aaron or Yip Yapper on Engineer. I'm probably going to say both of them, so get ready for it. Doc on Medic, Watterson on Sniper, and Hino coming in on Spy.
Yeah, and you prefaced squirtyay as a team that's kind of new to invite as a move up, but a lot of the players aren't that new. We have Figsy, Fig, Octa, Yip Yapper, Watterson, all pretty not like ancient Highlander players, but they've been here for quite a while in the scene. When they come together to make this team with their mix of new players, that's the squirtyay we're seeing right now, and it's the squirtyay that did lose their first match, unfortunately for them. That said, they still have a lot of potential to grow and come together as a roster and really cement themselves as a team competing for playoffs and playoff seeding.
Yeah, that being said, their loss was to Dunk Masters, I believe, which is Taco's team, who came fourth place in Invite last season after a couple of pretty good matches for them. Where I don't think they ever really took a big win against a higher ranked team, but did come in, have some close rounds, have some close games. I remember their Steel match against Apollodosh in the last week of the season was really close. So if they can take a round off of them, that spells good things for them. And again, you have to imagine that with more, kind of established talent than a team like AN has, they'll just only be getting better as the season goes on. But we're not really talking about as the season goes on tonight. We're talking about right now. And as if you watched last week, you kind of heard us say, AN does not have the players, the established players that some of the other teams have, even that their opponents had last week, but they're able to overcome them with a really good use of just, teamwork and coordination. And unfortunately for them here, they are playing on Ashville, a Koth map where coordination is always an important factor, but that DM is going to be able to shine through a little bit more here than on Swiftwater. So you have to be going into this thinking that, again, those bigger names, that presence of Watterson on squirtyay may make them, some pre-match favorites right here. But AN surprised us last week, and I'm going to be looking forward for them to possibly do it again.
Yeah, one of the matchups I want to look at this match is Fig versus Dog, the Demo Man matchup, because Fig has been playing for a long time, knows how to play Asheville. Dog, we haven't seen enough from him to kind of like say that he has what it takes to go head to head against Invite Demoman yet, but if he's able to kind of put up a fight against Fig, cement himself on mid, get damage, position himself so he doesn't die to scouts and snipers, then that's really the baseline that AN need to kind of get into Asheville.
Yeah, and I'm going to be looking as well a lot at how Poseidon and Catalyst are going to be able to counteract Voosh and Use. Probably going to, again, mispronounce those a little bit. You're going to hear some Yushes and some Vooses coming out as well in some big moments. But from my knowledge, I'm not super familiar with Use, but I know he has some pretty decent sixes experience compared to Poseidon and Catalyst, where Catalyst, I believe, was the soldier on Taco's team last season, but has never been, a star player in his own right, I would really say. Had a good half on Swiftwater, but when I compare that to the more experience on the other side, I am going to again be looking for that slight edge out on squirtyay, and it feels like anytime you kind of do a class by class comparison, some of the maybe like the spies I'm not as familiar with how that would be Micah comparing against Hino. But it feels like there's going to be a slight advantage leaning towards Squirtia in most of the classes, unless you're saying something else, Seg.
At first glance, I'd agree with you. Definitely more established players, definitely players who we know can do have a higher baseline starting out. That said, I think that there could be a lot of interesting matchups coming around the time that the game starts. For instance, Peren versus Aaron, Yip Yapper. If he, I want to see like how much he remembers how to play Ashville Engineer, because Ashville Engineer is a pretty versatile thing where people point out the mini sentry wrangle out of shutters annoying, yeah, but there's so many things you can really do to kind of get your team rolling. I want to harken back to Exa with the revenge crits jumping over the roof in grand finals last year. Or last season rather. So
You mean all Asheville Engineers is wrangling minis out of Shutter? That's all I've known. That's all I've ever known. Can't do anything else.
yeah, but then we decided that MVP of grand finals went to the engineer who got more revenge crit kills.
That's
So
fair. That's fair.
clearly we know
So
which ones are more important.
I don't know if these engineers are skilled enough to progress to that stage yet. But again, we'll have to see. As if you're reading chat, we are likely going to be moving to another server here. I think we were on a Kansas server as well, which may not have helped things out. Not too sure about that one, but we'll try to get things going as quickly as possible. I guess kind of moving on to some other things to talk about. We're giving that DM advantage to Score. Yeah, again, I don't think we've really mentioned Fig enough. And while Fig's never been again really hitting that top invite status, maybe until after their first season when they came up on Team Spoo, never really been able to crack into that really upper echelon. But compare that to Dog, who's making his debut in Invite this season, I believe, is there's going to be a difference there. But I do want to talk about that coordination on AN just a little bit more, because you think about what we saw on Swiftwater last week and how even though the names there, Rayman, Dog, and Darkly, may not be the most well known, they played really solidly together, and I really was impressed by Darkly's play around the combo.
Yeah, I do recall Darkly having a lot of really good denies on both Ubers and bombs, able to get those across. And Figsy, you mentioned earlier switching from medic to pyro. A lot of the times, the transition from other classes to pyro, you'd think it'd be a lot easier than it is, but a lot of times people playing pyro for the first time this season, they'll just think spy check and then maybe air blast and Uber. But good pyro play revolves around a lot of rotating, making sure that you're denying the right spam at the right times, ammo management, a lot of things. And if the mechanics come down to it, and Square 8 does have the advantage, we did see Ann pull out a lot of really good plays on Swiftwater. That said, Swiftwater, a lot of what B&H last week was trying to do was pretty telegraphed. They kind of tried the same upper push into second 5 times in a row, from what I remember, and they got full held on second. A map like Asheville that's more fast paced and you have more options on what to do in the immediate, when you get your Uber. I want to see if AN are going to be able to react in time to keep up with that.
Yeah, and additionally too, I think the other good thing we saw out of AN was not just the coordination but the adaptation. They might go in for a push in a certain way, see it fail, and then either try to rectify that by maybe getting a spy to coordinate in a sap, or getting more players to flood in through there, or just try a different push. So again, it hopefully we'll see them be able to adapt to that faster pace of play while also keeping that ability to adapt. In between the rounds, you don't have as much downtime in Koth as you do in Payload, both in terms of the in between rounds, setup time, stalling for pushes, etc. You kind of got to go a lot, so your knowledge of the map coming into it is a lot more important on Koth, whereas on Payload you can kind of figure some of it out as you go.
Yeah, definitely a fair point. Looks like we have vacated the current server, and we're trying to get the new info shortly. So hopefully we can get in there quick. We can talk a little bit about the map of Asheville. Everyone knows it. It's been staple for a while in Highlander. Really interesting map because of how combos have to kind of avoid playing on the point when they have it, because it's in all kinds of angles. So a lot of times, good play comes from correctly timed sacks and flanks from underneath, trying to get that ramp pressure, force a combo back. Like you said, if AN do have the coordination to roll with the punches and keep going and adapt to what Square does with their flank and the combo pressure, then they probably can get a lot out of their mid fights and then hold time early.
Yeah, and one thing, we've seen too, just speaking of those mid fights, is we've seen some of these, underdog teams. I wouldn't even call it an underdog necessarily, but, teams that you may not think could win mid fights off of DM. If you think about Taco's team last season, able to come in and take a lot of mid fights actually off of some of the higher ranked teams. I think in one of their K&D matches, they took 2 or 3 mid fights in a row on one of the Koth maps. And again, that's a really great way to start it, because if you can win that mid fight, get a med kill, you come in, you get yourself a minute, 15 of hold time for free pretty much, and that just sets you off on the right foot for a long time. And it does seem like we have some issues with getting info, but we'll keep you updated once we can get it.
Yeah, kind of hard to keep going about this pregame. We should have been started a bit ago, but yeah, we're gonna go on a short break while we do get this info situation set up or figured out. So, stick with us. We'll be right back for the match, hopefully.
Welcome back. We are back into this match as the first round is already underway. AN came out with a strong first round as they are currently in overtime. In a last-minute push, squirtyay was able to come back with the point, but just as that happens, Michael comes in, takes out Doc, drops that Uber. So while they have the point now, there's still 2 minutes left on the clock here, and it's going to take some, it's not going to take too much for AN to get back in on this. There goes Octa going down, and it looks like the cap's going to come through faster than we thought.
Yeah, too many bleeds came off. Even though Waterston is currently on a 4K, a lot of kills going over. That said, a counter bomb from the flanks kind of hurted AN back into the lobby. Once they get regrouped, they're going to walk back out. But that has bought time for the spawners to come back for squirtyay. They get a kill over onto DZ Creeper, but at the same time, two come onto Fig and Waterston. Downman Sniper down. Pretty over is the fight right now. So bomb going to come in, and this should be the first round in for AN.
Yeah, a team effort coming out from AN right here, taking that first round right now, and just Dolphin doesn't have his cheat feed up, so the video should still be just, you know, good. Might be a little bit slower on catching those sick frags, which is why. But anyway, we are coming into the second mid here. Dog against Fig on the rollout, both going to be there pretty early. Figsy coming up in Shutter with the rest of their teams. Everyone going through right there, and there is Say landing the shot onto Doc. You want your med going through ramp, not through Shutter, and that's exactly why. Voosh going in behind, trying to get something done, but Use will take out Say. Paren going down as well, so Frag actually in squirtyay's favor, even without heals, but it looks like that that med going down might force them back. But Octa, getting aggressive, gonna take out the rest of the AN combo right here, and there's some pretty big chaos on this mid. There goes Poseidon down to Aaron's mini right on his side of the point, and no one's getting this mid yet.
Yeah, that said, frags have come through, cleanup has happened, and squirtyay have their respawners back on mid. They're going to get this first cap off, and they did manage to kill DZ Creeper a little while ago, so he will be at an Uber dis ad right now. squirtyay win that mid fight, a very elongated mid fight, and they have a 25% Uber at a show for it. Right now, they're trying to walk people up onto the enemy ramp, but Soldier Bond trying to bomb gets Doc down to 50 HP, doesn't get that kill though, and they do have enemy ramp control, but AN are looking to go bat side.
Yeah, ramp control, but at the cost of their demo, Poseidon ran into like a 1v5 and was able to take out Fig. But yeah, in that mid-fight, Voosh had bombed in really early, and I thought he must have gone down, but he stayed behind the entire time, able to pick off DZ as they were getting out of mid. Very awkward spot for squirtyay, trapped now in the enemy team's lobby, and they're getting back cap on a cough map. We see Voosh doing his best to try to harass them on point, but here comes the repush. Catalyst going in on the bomb, going to take out Waterson, but the Uber gets popped right now. Darkly doing his best to stall. And where is DZ Creeper? Was he able to escape? It looks like he was. He has Uber, but I'm not entirely sure where. Back on his own bats.
They escaped underneath bats. Now they're going to pop back across point. They have 3 players on it right now. Cal's getting bombed. Will end up winning that fight. Uber getting traded on the side. Headshot onto Octa and immediately traded out is Say. So right now it's just Demoman alone on the point. Catalyst trying to bomb, get some help. Hino, the Demoman gets blasted out of his backstab. That's unfortunate, but their spawners are up in time, and they will get this point defended.
Yeah, unfortunately, DZ dropped his scout Poseidon there in on the Uber, did not flash him fast enough. I mean, you lose that scout, you lose a lot of chasing power, and a lot of capping power after, so the point has continued to stay in squirtyay's favor here, despite all the aggression coming out from AM, but it looks like they are going to finally get that first cap. But Hino getting a stab onto Say means that they may not be able to hold for long.
Creeper, he's 1 HP, can't get the last rocket, but he does get killed from underneath Aaron getting that flank engineer kill. So a bunch of kills going over for the side of squirtyay. They're going to look to try to recap this point. This Mini and the Demoman are all that's really left. Heavy on boxes, going to be a big distraction as well, going to take down Fig. So it's going to stall this recap. Silver Bomb in onto the head of Doc, and it will get that force out. So while they do lose the point, that's a minor victory in getting that force.
And DZ takes the tally directly into use and goes down right away. So a bit of an unexpected frag there. He didn't have any Uber, so it's not going to be too much of a setback for
well, they would have had Uber advantage because of that force, so that play, leaving your medic exposed in Shutter, is going to cost them that Uber ad that Catalyst bought for them, so...
Yeah, that is true. So, a costly miscommunication there, not coming up on that, but again, just lots of chaos so far, and there is Hino getting
gotten like
in
6
again.
or 7 kills this round so far. He's doing
a
great
and they've
job.
all been on great targets. Yeah, how is...
And Say... Guys, you got a spy check.
I praised Darkly before in the in the lead-in, but he's got to step up there a little bit. I mean, he's not doing anything else. You can't let 3 people of your team get chain stabbed consistently like that. And you know, it's spread out too. He's decloaks again, going in, finally gonna get caught. No one gonna fall to Hino this time, but it's just stalling time. But on the other side, the pick clusters for AN haven't been slacking either. Waterson and Fig both going down. The AN combo is flooding out right now, and yeah, we have a back cap happening again. Squirtyay really liking that hold on AN's ramp. The Uber, though, is going to be a little bit better for AN here.
That's
Doc's going to escape. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what should happen in this situation. You leave your combo to get cut off in the enemy ramp. They're just going to collapse on from ramp from bats. Your team can't really provide that much cover.
Micah got a revolver kill on Figsy and Doc in the post-fight of that, and then decloaks on Hino and stabs him while invisible to complete the 3K. So both classes definitely flexing their muscles early on here.
Yeah, Fig going down to Poseidon, getting that jump over the bats right now, so that kill is going to make it hard for them to retake this point. That said, 3 flank kills coming for the side of Vush and Use, so that's going to afford them some space to walk forward. Figsy's going to try to edge this point, but does get pushed off right now. Both teams kind of stalling out. AN are going to have Uber in 5%, while squirtyay only at 50, so they're going to have to wait a bit with that, but they could try drive pushing with this numbers ad.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be doing that. Figsy getting really aggro, forces the Uber out there. There goes Darkly, popped up over the ramp, and he's going to go into lower to try to clear up some frags. Takes out Figsy. Waterson going down to Poseidon on the back lines, but Darkly gets stabbed out by Hino now. Again, maybe being a little bit lax on that spy checking duty, so tons of frags everywhere across the board. But that wrangled mini by Parent in Shutter currently keeping most of Squirty after point. Here comes the Uber though, and this is full ad.
Yep, they're going to be nothing to contest there. Raymond going to get left, unfortunately. That's what you got to do. They just got to keep your players alive, and DZ Creeper does end up living and backing up with his sniper. Sniper's going to re-peek Shutter. Does get that kill on the Octa. It's a bit nice, but not that much to go off of. They get Fig as well with their revolver decloak, but as for now, the recap will come out for squirtyay. They're going to get that time back onto the point. They're a minute left, or they're only 20 seconds left, rather, while AN are a minute, so AN got to repush soon with this.
Importantly, though, they did not wait for their demo and heavy spawns before they cap the point, meaning Fig and Octa are just now coming up. Here comes Invush trying to get some damage out onto the point, but it's not going to be enough. And yeah, there goes Micah coming in from behind, taking out Doc. The rest of squirtyay is going down and backing off around them, so the point will come in right now. 3 seconds before overtime. 45 left on the clock for AN with a full Uber ad. DZ Creeper needs to be protected here. Hino cannot pull off any of this chain stab espionage like he's been doing
on
before.
The barrels. He has a sight line. He didn't get Poseidon tried to kill him, but he got killed before he could do it, so Sniper's going to survive. Spy and Bomber and Soldier are a threat right now. They're going to try to force early, but there's not enough to do a full sack play. Aaron's going to go down early, so no Wrangle's mini. They can pop at any time to contest point.
Here they go. Dog coming in, but they don't have a scout. Hino's going to take out Rayman in the Uber. You really need a scout here to chase them out, but it looks like Doc and Figsy going to be content to sit in lower right there. Dog jumping up on roof a little bit low. Will get healed back up, though.
Important snipe. That was fully buff heavy.
Huge snipe. Oh, he gets Say too. Say coming up huge. Use in on him. Gonna take him out, but the damage has already been done. Vush and Aaron in on the point now, but it is not enough. And AN, despite going down, a pretty decent time early, gonna come out to take the 2-0 at the half.
Yeah, it's really great clutch plays from a lot of AN's players there. We had Say, we had Micah, we even had Paren getting 2 kills up there with the cleanup wrangled mini. It's just we talked about how we want them to be coordinated, and they are being coordinated, but their players aren't lacking in DM either. They're getting plenty of big plays when they need them.
Yeah, just pulling up the logs real quick here, because I've been kind of looking to see who exactly has been doing what. I think the big thing here is looking at Say's 16 kills to Waterson's 9, and DZ Creeper with only half the deaths of Doc. So just Doc really been unable to stay alive right now, and compare that to the solid combo play out of AN, and it's just a rock that they can rely on. They're not losing their players as much. Fig with 13 deaths, almost top deathing the server, although Dog actually right up there with them. So bit of a comparison there, but again, it feels like AN's combo is always in a much better position to get in on the point.
Yeah, and I want to point out that while we were praising Hino a lot and he did a great job, Micah eventually evened out his kills with his heroics towards the end of the game, whereas a lot of Hino's came at the beginning. So as the spies had been flowed, so did the teams really. And of Doc's 8 deaths, 4 of them are Micah. When you're dying 4 times to a spy, you're not going to get Uber. Those are happening in off times. They're not happening at the end of fights.
And the other two of those other 4 remaining deaths were to Say. So you have the pig classes coming in really big for AN. Compare that to DZ Creeper. 3 out of his 4 deaths were to flank, which we predicted would be a strength coming in for squirtyay here. And Use actually did top frag those 2 rounds, despite his team losing with 21. Say and Poseidon both the 16 tied for second. But again, you just see where the kind of teams are coming apart, and when the flank are the main ones killing your med, with a couple of exceptions, it's because you're losing fights, right? When you lose a fight, it's going to be the scout, it's going to be the soldier coming in from behind that's going to kill your med. When your med's dying to pick classes, that's not happening because of a lost fight. That is losing you the fight to start with, which means that DZ's deaths are a result of his team's failures, whereas Doc's deaths are really a result of his, and those swings in momentum can be enough to, you know, win a round as close as the last one was. But we are in on this new mid here. Fig going to be the first one going down again, dying at another crucial point. Waterson as well beside him with kills here, and there is Octa, low health and lower, going to get the pack, but can they finish him off? They will, and it's just AN here gathering steam and pretty much rolling this mid.
It's just Yay being a bit out of their sorts right now. Poseidon just walked into Shutter and killed the Dome Man and Sniper by himself, really, you know, with some spam assistance. Either way, they gotta regroup. Their medic didn't die, so at least they'll have that. But okay, Catalyst bombed Pop Doc into the corner, and Poseidon hit a meat shot to kill him before he could land. So that sack is gonna afford AN all the time they need. squirtyay want a foot in this round, they need to pull one back of their own.
Yeah, we really need to see some sacks here, but it's going to require Fig to stay alive long enough to get in here.
Blast.
Here he comes, but yeah, he's just getting knocked all the way back. DZ though, going to get forced at 1 health because of Fig coming in on the ground, getting some extra damage in right there. DZ still barely has any health. He's going to want to back up and remain safe on ramp. Gets a sandwich from Rayman to keep himself healthy, but that is enough to allow squirtyay to start getting some ground back in on the point. So even though that mid was pretty disastrous for them, they're only going to lose, you know, 50 or so seconds, 55 seconds off the clock right here before they come back onto it with even Ubers.
It was kind of a failure of a defense. We saw like 4 to 5 kills go over from the flank and the spy of squirtyay onto AN. And on top of that, that Uber force shouldn't really happen. Darkly missed, like I'm pretty sure all 3 rockets he missed the reflect on. He just put the soldier higher into the air. So either way, kill's gonna come back over in the favor of AN as they walk out onto mid. Gonna try to save their sniper from use. Will not be able to do that, but they do get the point as consolation. So recap comes in. Both teams are gonna have Uber very shortly.
Darkly on the panic attack, a callback to hard-ass Johnny. Here comes Hino, not going to be able to find anything.
He should wait for his team. They're about to push Uber.
One thing though is that it feels like anytime squirtyay has anything go right, they just bleed players so heavily. The Uber's going to come out here. Feels a bit scattered. This is a demo Pyro Uber coming back in, but a way better pop for AN right now. Yeah, already 4 dead here. No one in danger of being dropped right now. Fig trying to like 1v5 the point, but all the stickies he put down get air blasted off of it by Darkly, so there's a good heads up awareness there.
Poseidon dropped down onto them.
Yeah, and he's gonna trade out with yeah, he actually trades out with Fig, causes him to kill himself on his own pipes, but here comes in Micah. Can he get Dog? He's gonna land a headshot as the pack is respawning. So some great ambi play out of him there. He'll be happy to go down to use with that in his back pocket. And there goes Perez assassinating Waterson on bats before going down to Octa, you know, with the shorter respawn times on offense. May not be the best trade, but it sure is a satisfying one.
Yeah, poor Waterson can't get anything going this game. Just getting constantly pushed back by this AN team. Right now, squirtyay at a pretty big disadvantage. Going to try to get people on point, but Snipe from Say is going to really help deny that. Fig can't spam this, and now Delmang gets for free, but a headshot comes in onto Dog. He's going to go down with the help of Octa. Say also going down to Waterson, finally getting a foothold into this SVS matchup, and the recap will come over, but importantly, DZ Creeper did live, and he has full Uber.
Yeah, that's the big thing here. Doc only at 50%, so they can get these spawns, they can go quickly and just get right back in here, you know, bullying them out. Perent is going to get caught out by Voosh playing in secret, jumps back out to safety, should get a pack and be right back up to full. But yeah, here comes in Rayman, already so aggro. The Uber gets popped on him, great save by DZ, and that is going to be Fig and Octa biting the dust right there. The rest of squirtyay, no, Doc kited close
had
instead
95,
of far.
just back up.
Oh, he kited close instead of far, wanted to break the line of sight from the demo man, but didn't realize how quickly they were going to get in on him, and yeah, dies at 95. Voosh in, gonna pick up DZ. Darkly not in a position to deny. I think he's just coming back in from ramp, but that's still a great fight for them, able to kill off DZ, or Doc, excuse me, when they're at 95, and there's less than 30 seconds left on the point.
Yeah, it's just, you lost your heavy, your demo man got caught, you're back in with your pyro, just leave, you have 95, you can always live to fight another day, but...
Poseidon just got a 3k in the middle of the enemy team, including Poseidon's Doc and
pretty
Fig.
Unstoppable right now. He basically killed the entire combo, or I don't know what's left of them. Hino gonna get 1 constellation frag, but Darkly now walking forward, gonna kill Figsy Hughes, Poseidon getting a 6th underneath the point, and that cleanup is gonna be quick and easy.
I'm throwing some shade on Figsy and Octa right now. They need to do a better job of protecting their combo right there. You can't have one scout and sometimes a soldier coming in and getting 3 kills in like a 2v5. You can't have that happen. You need to be hitting these reflexes. You need to be tracking that scout. I don't care if Octa has to go Natasha just to slow down Poseidon, but they need something to
Doc
change
is
here.
dead again!
And Doc going out of Shutter
So Waterson
gets immediately silenced. DZ actually getting taken down quite low himself, is going to heal back up with that sandwich and regen. But again, just disaster.
It's 7 for 2 at this point, and one was a spy.
Yeah, and Octa's not long for this world either, going to go down. Yu's able to take out Peren, the only man standing on his team right now. Still behind, actually, but going to take out the telly, so some good work being made there. Going to be zoned off by
Mini
the
on
mini
one
though.
end, Pyro on the other.
Yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he's going down, but squirtyay do not look to be playing well at all.
Yeah, now they have to push into a full Uber dis side, maybe try Force. They're leaving their demo man out to dry here. Poseidon, easy cleanup. They're just not together. Force is alone in Shutter. Is he gonna get decloaked on? He will live. Poseidon's getting more and more aggressive as this game goes on right now, playing on that roof. Gonna need an arrow, heal him back up. We'll get that buff. And no sacks are coming in. Waterson gonna get bombed in Shutter. Sticky's getting that kill onto the NG and his mini. Catalyst rebombing, Boosh going down. Just complete disaster, really.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I know we said coming into this that we expected a slight ad for squirtyay here off of their DM, but their DM it's not even an issue of DM at this point. It's that they're playing so uncoordinated. It looks like a pug team.
It really does.
No invite team should be allowing, and nothing against Poseidon. He's a good player, and as much as I kind of flamed him in a pug last night, he's a good player. You know, he has good aim. The fact that he's able to get away with this is a testament to his skill, but he's not Danny. You know, he's not Clockwork. He's not some, you know, DM Adonis that's coming in and 1v9ing your entire team. It's just, you're just not hitting shots on him. You need to be getting in here and killing this scout, whether he's 125 or 185. You have the players able to do that, and they're just not executing, and they're getting clowned because of it.
Yeah. So that said, squirtyay did come up. They did get that first capture of the round. Keep in mind it is 3-0, so they need this if they want to stay in the map. They're trying the ramp hold that they tried last half right now. Ubers are perfectly even. Octa gonna get sniped out from sight, so with no heavy, you're really vulnerable in this ramp. Demoman is peeking so close. They're so trapped. Your soldier gonna collapse.
Yeah, Figsy should be air blasting those stickies. Thankfully, Dog's gonna die. DZ Creeper goes down as well, actually. Aaron coming in and finding that frag. Gonna go down, but worth the trade.
Wiped.
Yeah, and there's the wipe. So
that's such a bad hold. It really just isn't good. Unless you go in and take control of their lobby, it's not good. You're playing on low ground where you can't control either choke, really.
I mean, I saw Waterson doing well in their pregame, so maybe if he's having, you know, a better game, he's able to get in there and just deny them that entire lobby area. And, you know, ideally, maybe if your sniper is, like, hitting all the shots, he rotates between lobby and the bottom of ramp to snipe them off of bats, but he's just not doing it. You have to adjust. You lost the first 2 rounds doing that. Now you lost the third, not even getting a chance to
what
catch.
A surf from DZ into the back of
really
ramp.
Good, yeah. Good job by him, able to survive that. Dog's going to go down to Poseidon. Again, just not being able to do anything about this scout. He will go down to Figsy on the shotgun.
Here, they get this point. Raymond, turn around. He did it.
Oh, he heard it. The Turtle Beach is coming in clutch right now for Rayman. Gonna keep getting tanked up.
Tank him, DZ.
The arrow's not enough. Waterson lands 2 headshots in a row, and that burst of damage is too much. Thankfully, though, they're not realizing that DZ's alone and don't chase him out. So the cap will come back in right now.
Full Uber on AN's side right now. Only 45 seconds left to take this map in a clean fashion. They have full Uber to work it. They're gonna try to push off bats here. squirtyay really need to do something. They need to force this Uber. They need to kite this fight. They need to just retain this point. If they lose this point here, it's gonna be so hard to win.
Yeah, and thankfully they're, you know, on their own ramp this time, but Doc staying a little bit too in right now. Gets caught on the ramp. Thankfully, though, they don't decide to chase him, and a bunch of frags gonna be traded either way. But yeah, looks like they're going slightly into the favor of squirtyay right here. So they are continuing to hold on to this right there. Just a bit of a coin flip fight that they end up coming out on, but you see what happens when you don't forward hold on Ashville. You actually hold the point.
That said, Doc does have Uber now. They're going to have to pop to try to stop this point capture once Ann actually walks out onto it. Waterson did go down to Catalyst, and no sniper deny means you should be able to get this force pretty cleanly.
Yeah, they took out Aaron's mini sentry for now. Gonna have to rebuild that. Comes up back on ramp, but it keeps going down, so nothing denying that. Figs gonna go down to the pistol and the Wrangler right there. And oh, there goes in the rest of the Uber. Yeah. This is good for stalling, but that's about it. Honestly, you have Hino on disguise there. Take him in on the revolver, try to get any kind of chase power. But yeah, DZ Creeper gonna save his sniper with an arrow from the other side of the map, I'm pretty sure. And again, though, they're unable to get in on this.
But it's just the heavy and okay, Delman walked out now, but help Peren here. There's no danger really coming out. They just need to try to edge this point. It does get very close. Spy gonna get dropped for it, but Say getting another pick onto Waterston, and now they have Uber on the side of AN, so they're gonna walk up, try to get this. squirtyay smartly playing back of ramp, looks like they're keen to kind of give this out. Waterston, Figsy go down, you guys just need to leave, so... They did get more than one Uber out of that. That's what squirtyay needed to get a foothold in this round, and now they're gonna have an Uber v Uber exchange when both teams are at 30 seconds left, so it's winnable.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think part of that also having his Catalyst was behind distracting some of the combo, which is why they gave that up. But here comes in Voosh, gonna get the force off early. That's really important, but Voosh, Fig, and Use are all down. Say,
they're gonna try
continuing to roll off shots. Yeah, they know they want to try to get Doc. His Uber's gonna get forced out right here. But yeah, most of his team is dead right now. He doesn't have anyone to actually Uber on. He's just with Figsy, and Figsy with the shotgun gonna do all she can right here. But there's only so much
Micah
single
and Poseidon are so important here. Poseidon in on Doc, gets the kill.
Gets the kill. He's going to take out the source of healing, so any damage now is going to stick. But yeah, it is enough to allow this to get capped right here. So with their backs against the wall, squirtyay able to dig deep down and pull out what they need to make this round competitive. Not yet in overtime either.
DZ Creeper got killed by Voosh. I didn't see where, but he's dead now.
Pretty sure it was just far behind when he was backing out, I want to say. Yeah, so I didn't see it either,
Uber's going to be completely irrelevant here. It's going to be a DM versus DM fight. Both teams looking to get this. It is overtime right now for AN. One cap will do it for them. They're walking out at the point.
Yeah, they got Fig already. No demo's going to be huge. Catalyst traded, though. Octa's going to go down as well. It's demo and heavy. They have point presence right here. Voosh coming in, and just the reaction from squirtyay was not there. They're going to take this round, and they're going to take the 4-0. A dominating statement from AN here, and really just coming out really strong. And I mean, we said it last week that they may be establishing themselves as a dark horse. They played really well tonight, and they were just able to completely exploit all of the mistakes that we saw squirtyay making.
Yeah, it's honestly just an impressive performance from AN. All their players played above our expectations for them, in addition to them playing as a team. You know, we did see a couple, mistakes here and there, some mechanical, some a bit less, but either way, they came together and they played really well to get the 4-0. As for squirtyay, it's just they just kind of looked lost after a little while. Their ramp holds were not the most pretty things to look at. They kind of just got choked out of those once they tried holding them. Walking up to a ramp and holding lobby isn't a bad thing, but you need to have control of the lobby. You need to have your sniper looking into their spawn angles, and you need to have people, controlling both sides. If you can control into their lobby and funnel them into bats, then there's less places you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about them walking out onto bats. So it just looked like they weren't practiced in that hold.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, you have your flank sit on their bats to give you advance warning of when people are coming. You have to be fluid with rotating. And I mean, if you're playing against a team that really likes to go out ramp side, then that can work. But if they're going to go out bats, you're losing height, and you're losing height advantage. You're choking yourself in. You're kind of trapping yourself. And the only way to go in really is further into their own lobby. And that just leads to a bunch of really wacky TF2 that I don't think squirtyay was ready to play. So, I mean, I can see it as like a kind of curveball. Like, you're in a close match, you're down like a minute and a half, you need to get some more time. All right, let's go forward, hold their ramp, see if we can get anything. But defaulting to it as a hold spot, there's a reason why that's not the meta. And as much as I encourage meta breaking, that ain't it, Chief.
All right, looking at the logs, as you can expect, Poseidon topping the server. He also had third most DPM in the server, or no, fourth. He was 2 behind the enemy demo man. He was behind his own demo man on dog, and Say also had a 480 DPM. So big classes, scout, demo man, sniper coming out for AN. When scout, demo man, and sniper are playing well, can you even lose Highlander?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult too. I mean, this is a met. Maybe you have a soldier who's absolutely popping off, but Voosh, I mean, was able to find kills on DZ. We saw him get in there a couple times, but when your own team is just, it honestly feels like it was just a fail. Like, again, I don't want to take anything away from Poseidon, but I don't think he should have been able to get away with as much as he got away with.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair assessment.
And even if you want to say he should be able to go in and maybe he kills Doc, but he should at least be dying for it. Felt like half the time he was running into like a 1v5, getting a kill and getting out.
Or killing 3 and then trading.
Yeah, or he'd kill 3 if Catalyst went in with him, and then Catalyst would die and he'd get out. And it's like, you can't let that happen. I don't know where the communication or like the roles haven't been assigned yet, but the Octa and Figsy, Bigsy, I know she hasn't played Pyro in a while, but I think that was the first class she played. I'm not positive on that, but she definitely has experience on the class. That should not be a mechanical failure. You know what I mean? It's not like you couldn't stop it. It's not like you had a low invite team going against Froyo's flank and they're just getting outmatched. There was an option to stop that, and they weren't able to. And even with all that happening, you saw how close some of the rounds were. I mean, I don't think that last round hit double overtime exactly, but you had probably less than 30 seconds. I think it was 13 seconds left for squirtyay at the end there. So they had the option. If they had won another Uber fight, that's a round one for them. There was another round that was really close too. The failure to execute really is what it felt like.
Yeah, so they do have a lot to work on coming into the following weeks. With an 0-2 start, it's actually going to be very hard for squirtyay at this point to make a high playoff seeding if they make one at all. So they do definitely have a lot to work on if they want to kind of climb their way up before the end of the season. As for AN, starting out 2-0, that's a very good start, especially when they're teams that you have to beat if you want to kind of solidify yourself in that middling playoff race. And with a 4-0 performance here, and we saw them play Swiftwater really well, we were kind of impressed with their payload. They might be able to take rounds off of the upper echelon of teams. And
Yeah,
if you can do
definitely.
that, then that solidifies you as a mid-high playoff team.
I'm very interested to see them play Dunk Masters, which is Taco's team. As, for the past really 2 seasons, it's felt like they've kind of been the fourth place, made it into playoffs, but never really, balled with the big kids kind of team. But, we saw them, sneak around off of K&D. They made it close with AD one time. And, I really feel like AD could maybe be, or AN, excuse me, could be challenging them for that kind of, challenger spot, not to repeat the same words over and over again, but this team, you definitely feel like if they get if they get their mojo going, and maybe a higher seeded team allows a couple of openings, they're definitely going to be able to capitalize on that. As a result of the Swiss system, we don't have matchups, the Swiss system in Invite, we don't have matchups ahead of time, so we can't make a prediction about what's going to happen. But with them being 2-0 right now, I have a feeling that, AN's probably going to be starting to play with, they're going to be in the deep end next week, playing with some of the more established teams instead of move-ups, which I think is going to be a really interesting test. So maybe we do the same thing RGL's done the past few seasons and make a team the main character of the anime. Could very well be AN this season, but stick around to all the same old communication channels. You'll find out what we're casting soon enough.
Yep, definitely. Give my last words on the match real quick. I definitely do think AN are looking very good. They probably are looking good enough to be a playoff team to contest with the top, as you said, ball with the big kids type thing. squirtyay, if they can get something together by the end of the season, I'm sure they'll think it was somewhat of a worthy climb. But right now, they're just not looking like a team, honestly.
Yeah, 9 players versus a team. The team's going to win every time. But with that, I think that will do it for us here. So I'm Alto, and for Zag, Dolphin, and the rest of RGL, congrats to AN for starting out the season 2-0, and we'll see you next week.
Mannco.store, the no-nonsense cash market for TF2.